Hello and welcome. Welcome to the square, Gainsborough Square. Feel free to take a seat if the bench is available. My name's Sylvia, and I'll guide you through this audio experience. As you probably can tell, my voice isn't from here. It's rooted in Central Europe, where the aurora falter, or in English, orange-tipped butterfly, is at home, just like here in Lochleith. I'll come back to this butterfly later. Thanks for listening to Field Stories, a sculpture and audio experience by artists Charlie Clark and myself, Sylvia Riemann, co-created with children and young people and older residents of Lochleith. Have a look across the square. Can you see any butterflies or moths, bees or wasps, hoverflies or any other insects? Depending on the time of year, there may be a colorful and vibrant patch of wildflowers right in front of this bench. Or it may be cold and rainy, and the only bit of nature you can see is the green grass and the trees around, and maybe a stray bird in the sky. The name Lochleith comes from the Anglo-Saxon for a fold in a field, meaning an animal enclosure in a field or a meadow. That's how Lochleith started out, with Lochleith Farm surrounded by fields, before it was built up in the 1940s. Nowadays, most of Lochleith has been built upon, and Lochleith Neighbourhood Trust have been working hard to bring meadows back to the neighbourhood. A field in a fold, so to speak. We've asked some of the children, young people and older residents about their personal stories and experiences with the wildlife of Lochleith. Here is a selection about the square and insects.
I don't know if it's particularly naturey, but personally I like sitting up on the square, on the green there, and you've got the flowers and you can hear the birds and then you can hear the children playing, and I like sitting there. It's quite peaceful.
My favourite place in Lochleith is Square Park. I find lots of my friends there. I make new ones when my friends aren't there. And I sometimes look down at the floor and see the little insects, and I sometimes follow them.
Once I rescued a bee. It's the type of bees that when they burrow down on the ground, when they make like babies and eggs, when they hatch, they straight away fly away, because those type of bees live in just like a group of one or two. It was finding somewhere to burrow, and then it just ran out of energy because it was flying too much. So we ran inside to our house and got some sugary water. And then we had a spoon to lift the bee up onto a plate with the sugary water on it. And the bee started to drink the sugary water, and it got re-energized, and he was better than before, and it was just a bit overwhelming for him at the start.
Once when I was with my cousin playing in the garden, we saw a dead bee, and we went inside and got sugar and water, and we put it next to it, and it drank it, and then it didn't do anything, so I made a grave for it. So I made a bug house in a project for beavers. And we were going to see who got the most bugs. And I was quite proud of mine because I got a slug and a fly. They just looked at the carrot that my dad put in. It was hilarious. They were just chomping it down. They were like, nom, nom, nom.
When I was 5, a few years ago, there's this tiny puddle on a bench in Stoke Park, and there's a little bug in it, and it was drowning in it. To be honest, it did really good backstroke. But I helped it get out safely, and I let it dry off my hand. That took about half an hour, and then it flew away.
Hello. Today I'm going to be talking about the field that's behind my house. Usually when I'm bored or like my food's out of charge, I go out there and play some football. And while I'm out there, I see all kinds of different like insects, all stuff like that. And let's say I'm playing with my brother. Like if he slides me straight to the ground, like I get like some like ants on my body and stuff like that, and I get like really muddy.
And I like a place at Stoke Park. There's a little bit of wood, and as a class, we went up there to build nests and see if any insects went up there.
I've seen a lot of butterflies by the field by the Yellow Castle. I've seen them like go into plants and like I don't really know what they were doing, but there was just like a horde of them, different colours, and like really amazing.
Back to you. Have a look at the wooden carved pole on the side of the bench. It's here to celebrate the orange-tip butterfly. Feel free to run a finger along the carvings to feel the abstract shapes. The pattern has been designed by students at Trinity Academy and is inspired by the wing markings of orange-tip butterflies and the plants that are needed for their survival, which are plants from the cabbage family, for instance, the cuckoo flower, wild turnip, and garlic mustard. The orange tips are being reintroduced to Lochleys, and hopefully you'll see more and more of them over the years to come. You can recognize the males by the bright orange tips on their forewings, which is a warning sign to predators to say their taste is unbearable. A result of the mustard oil from the plants they eat as caterpillars. Females lack these orange tips and blend in with the cabbage plants, such as cuckoo flowers and garlic mustard, where they lay their eggs. Have a look across the square and take a moment to imagine the orange-tip butterfly coming back. A whole swarm of them flying over the square in choreographed formations and dancing in the sun. we've asked the children and young people of Lochleath to go on an imaginary journey into the future and to tell us how they would create a greener neighborhood if they had special superpowers. Here are some of their responses.
What I would do is like in Gainsbury Square, I noticed some of the trees are quite dead and really thin. I would use my power and make them more luscious and bigger.
This guy, he gave me superpowers. So that I was supposed to like regreen Lochleath, but then I was trying to like regreen the square because like everything was so black and grey, Some guys with a skateboard trying to jump me, So then I ran away, As these superpowers to like regreen the entire UK and everybody started being happy again,
I think I would bring back some of the animals that have been lost from the UK and bring them back to Lochleath. Not all of them, because not all of them would have suitable habitats, but I might bring back a type of blue beetle that's been lost, and I might bring back a type of butterfly that's also been lost, and they're really pretty creatures. I could have bring back bears and sphinxes and wolves, but I think they'd take over the place, and I don't think there'd be appropriate habitats for them.
Have another look across the square and take a moment to imagine your very own really wild Lochleath. How would you dream up a greener Gainsborough Square? What would you do in your neighborhood with the street you live in? Close your eyes for a moment, relax, and imagine the beautiful transformation of Lochleath into a truly green neighborhood. If you like this sculpture and audio experience, why not go and explore the other two sculptures and audio works that are located on Thornycroft Close Green and around the back of Lochleath Sports Centre. Thank you and goodbye.